we've journeyed through one of the most transformative chapters in world history, the French Revolution. From bread riots to the beheading of a king, from women's marches to declarations of human rights, the revolution changed not just a nation, but the entire political vocabulary of the modern world. But what exactly did it leave behind? Let's step back and connect the key pieces to understand not just what happened, but why it still matters today. Before 1789, France was a society based on privilege, inequality, and monarchy. By 1794, it had become a republic guided, however briefly, by principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Key transformations: monarchy abolished, king and queen executed. Feudalism ended, church lands seized. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen proclaimed rights like liberty, property, equality before law, and freedom of expression. Citizens were encouraged to speak up, vote, and think critically. And even though women and the enslaved were denied full equality at the time, they started movements that would eventually change the world. But the revolution was not perfect. In fact, it was filled with contradictions. It promised universal rights but denied them to women and slaves. It celebrated liberty, yet Robespierre's rule unleashed terror. It claimed to represent the people, but voting was still restricted for many. And after years of instability, the revolution gave way to a military takeover. In 1799, Napoleon Bonaparte seized power, eventually declaring himself emperor in 1804. Still, the very ideas the revolution unleashed, equality, secularism, justice, could not be undone. The French Revolution didn't just change France, it changed the world. Its ideals inspired political movements across Europe, Latin America, Africa, and Asia. In India, reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy were deeply influenced by revolutionary thought. He was fascinated by the promise of human equality and reasoned governance. In colonized nations, revolutionary language became the foundation of nationalist movements. Ideas like freedom from oppression, popular sovereignty, and citizenship rights became universal demands. Even today, when people demand justice, dignity, or equality, they often speak the language that was born during the French Revolution. So what does the French Revolution teach us? It teaches that revolutions don't just remove rulers, they redefine society. They question who has the right to power, what does justice look like, who gets to be heard. It reminds us that change doesn't come easy. It's messy, often violent, and full of mistakes. But it is also necessary when injustice becomes unbearable. The revolution's greatest legacy is not in its temporary governments or military conquests, but in its enduring belief that people matter and that every citizen has a voice. As we close this chapter, remember, liberty, equality, and fraternity were not gifts. They were won, fought for, and demanded. And that struggle continues in every society that dares to imagine a fairer future. Thank you for learning with us.